Welcome everybody to another episode of Sports Data PC. When I say PC, I mean podcast. Week 4, baby. Week 4. Y'all thought we was gonna stop? Nah, we just getting started, baby. Week 4. XFL, game analysis, breakdown, pure energy. First game we got is the LA Wildcats and the New York Guardians. New York Guardians were home. They needed this win. Let's see. Statistically, this was a good game. New York played like they needed to win, and like I said, they needed to win. LA, especially traveling all the way from California to New York. It's kind of cold in New York, people don't understand around this time. But Luis Perez was in the game. They don't have Matt McGloin. Marquise Williams plays a little bit. But Luis Perez, for those of you who don't know, actually played in the AAF. Like I said, there are a lot of players from the AAF that are in the XFL, probably 85-90% of them. He was 18 for 26, 150, had a touchdown. Victor, the running back, had 18 attempts, 82 yards, no touchdowns. Mikael McKay, the former commander, for those of you who don't know, had a red zone touchdown. So that kind of sums up New York's offense. Summers had an interception. Owens had 2 sacks, so their defense was out there flying around. As far as LA, Josh Johnson had a pretty good game. He was 25 for 40, 330, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Trey McBride showed up. He had 12 targets, 8 receptions, a buck 27 and a touchdown. So other than that, it wasn't much. It was a physical game, but I guess New York pulled this one out. Next game I have on the slate is the Seattle Dragons at the St. Louis Battlehawks. I'm real high on the Battlehawks. They're starting to grow on me now. I don't know. Maybe it's the uniforms. Maybe it's the helmets. I'm starting to like those Battlehawks. Again, the crowd showed up. Again, it looks like they're probably going to have the best crowd between them and the Seahawks, I believe. You're still not messing with San Antonio, but that's another story. But, yeah, the crowd, man, they came and showed. The crowd, baby. This game was 16-23, Battlehawks. Let's see, rushing, Tai Amu had 16 attempts, 63 yards. He also threw 20 completions, 27 attempts, 264 yards, and a touchdown. Again, he is mistake-free. Very good. Pearsonell had 5 targets, 5 receptions, 71 yards and a touchdown. So they got a lot of production from their offense. Will Hill added that with a interception. As far as the Seattle Dragons, they had to play 2 quarterbacks in this game. I guess Brandon Silvers wasn't getting it done. 4 for 10, 27 yards. They had to put in DJ Daniels. For those of you who don't know, he used to play for USF. 5 completions, 10 attempts, 100 yards, a touchdown, an interception. Rushing, BJ Daniels did rush good. He had 7 attempts for 84 yards. No touchdowns. You got to get a touchdown, man. Receiving, no Reynolds, no Pro. These are the 2 dominant receivers. No production this game. So that ought to tell you a lot about Seattle. Maybe next time. Next game we got is the Houston Roughnecks, who's actually balling in the XFL, versus the Dallas Renegades, who's kind of up and down right now so far. And in week 4, Houston won this game 27-20, very close game. They started off very, very, very hot. Dallas started to catch themselves a little bit during the game. Landry Jones was hurt. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's see, Houston, man, rushing, Butler had 11 attempts, 39 yards. Walker in passing had 25 completions, 41 attempts, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. but he makes up for it, man. He's really dominant. As far as receiving goes, Holly and Jackson both had a touchdown apiece. 3 team takeaways from the Houston Roughnecks. Brown and Nichols had almost 3 touchdowns together, tied. So, like I said, 3 team takeaways. That was very good. As far as Dallas, Lance Dunbar showed up, had 9 attempts, 48 yards and a touchdown. Cameron Artis-Payne had about 12 attempts, 31 yards, no touchdown. So they were trying to be very productive on the rushing side. Landry Jones, like I said, was injured, but had 25 completions, 38 attempts, 205 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. And he was struggling in this game very much. Receivers had Nagel had 6 receptions, 76 yards, 0 touchdowns. Parham, the 6'8" tight end, had 10 targets, 6 receptions, 56 yards, and a touchdown. So he still is their leading receiver, which is from the tight end position, from those of you who don't know. And last but not least, I have the last game, which is the DC Defenders and the Tampa Bay Vipers. Finally, the Vipers finally got a win. DC, man, started off hot, not looking too good the last couple games, especially Cardell Jones. I don't really have much to say about his stats, but I guess I'll read his stats. He was 9 completions, 22 attempts, 72 yards, and an interceptions. They yanked him. Rushing, Pumphrey had 7 attempts, 34 yards. Rashad Ross, Eli Rogers, Tompkins, their dominant receivers were nowhere to be found. 0 points, man. Come on, y'all. You gotta step it up. That's 2 weeks in a row now. Tampa Bay finally got that W. They were very dominant on the run game. Very dominant. Both their running backs, Patrick and Smith, had about 100 yards apiece. Patrick had 21 attempts, 108 yards and a touchdown. And Smith had 24 attempts, 122 yards, 0 touchdowns. Cornelius, their quarterback, was also 24 for 31, 211 yards, a touchdown and an interception. And the leading receiver is Williams, which he was targeted 11 times, had 7 receptions, 72 yards, 0 touchdowns. Also, T. McFadden had a team interception. So, like I said, DC didn't come to play. They looked very dry. Again, Cardell Jones, first 2 weeks showed me that he was a dominant quarterback. Last 2 weeks, he's been showing me that he's very below average. This goes to show you the highs and lows of the league right now, that nothing's really given, nothing's really easy. These guys are really out there fighting their hearts out. I would like to see, if you haven't paid attention, there's been some movement. Like guys that were dominant in the first week right now, of course, aren't that dominant. Other than, like I said, Walker from Houston, he's killing it right now. He really is. Like, even if he does, like I said, even if he threw an interception, like he threw an interception in his last game, he still makes up for it. But we got more to see. Sports Data PC. When I say PC, I mean podcast. Let's go, baby. Hit that subscribe button.